All right, Steelers Nation, welcome back to the channel. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a franchise that never settles. Year after year, this organization is searching for ways to improve, to evolve, and to fine-tune every detail in order to bring better results back to the field. And as we get closer to the 2026 season, it's clear. Big decisions are being made behind the scenes that could shape the future of this team. But before we dive into this exclusive report, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. If you're a true member of Steelers Nation, you already know you don't want to miss what's coming next. Steelers Nation, if you want the official Steelers store, the link is in the description and the comment. Tons of new Sideline gear and hoodies available. Now, let's get into it. Because today, we've got a massive development involving one of the most important players on this roster, Joey Porter Jr. And Steelers Nation, this situation, it's getting complicated. Very complicated. The Pittsburgh Steelers are currently in the middle of contract negotiations with their star cornerback, Joey Porter Jr., who is entering the final year of his rookie deal. And let's be clear right from the start, this is not just any extension. This is a franchise-defining negotiation. Because Porter has done everything you could ask for from a young cornerback. Since entering the league, he has improved every single season. He's grown into a true lockdown defender, a player that quarterbacks think twice about targeting. And in today's NFL, that kind of player is gold. We're talking about one of the most valuable positions on the field. And that means one thing. He's going to get paid. The question is, how much? Right now, the highest paid cornerbacks in the league are making around $31 million per year. And while Porter may not hit that exact number, he's absolutely in that conversation. But here's where things take a turn. Because according to former NFL general manager Doug Whaley, the Steelers may have already hurt themselves in these negotiations. And the reason? Nick Herbig's contract. Earlier this offseason, the Steelers signed...
In fact, it puts the Steelers in a very tough position. Because now the baseline has shifted. Porter isn't just negotiating based on his own value anymore. He's negotiating based on what the team has already committed to someone else. And according to Whaley, that could push Porter's asking price even higher. We're talking about a scenario where his camp could start negotiations at $35 million per year. Now, will he actually get that number? Probably not. But that's not the point. The point is leverage. And right now, Joey Porter Jr. has a lot of it. Because when you look at his resume, it speaks for itself. He's been a starter, he's been consistent, he's been reliable, and most importantly, he's been effective. Now, there is one area of his game that critics like to bring up: ball production. Through his career so far, Porter has recorded just 3 interceptions, 1 per season. And on paper, that doesn't jump off the page. But here's the reality. Quarterbacks aren't throwing his way. That's what happens when you're a lockdown corner. You don't get opportunities to make plays on the ball because offenses avoid you altogether. So while the interception numbers might not be flashy, his impact is undeniable. And that's something the Steelers know. That's something the fans know.
A former college tight end who transitioned to the defensive line, he's worked hard to carve out a role for himself in the NFL. And last season, he got his first taste of action. 7 games played, a couple of tackles, a quarterback hit. Solid, but not spectacular. And that's the problem. Because in a crowded room like this, solid isn't enough. Not anymore. Not when you've got veterans like Eseji Otomowo, Kyle Baugh, and Dean Lowry competing for the same spot. Not when you've got young players like Kevin Jobity Jr. and rookie Gabe Rubio trying to make a name for themselves. The competition is fierce, relentless, unforgiving. And for Logan Lee, that means one thing. He has to be perfect. Training camp? He has to dominate. Preseason? He has to stand out. Every snap? He has to prove that he belongs. Because if he doesn't, there's a very real chance he...
A former college tight end who transitioned to the defensive line, he's worked hard to carve out a role for himself in the NFL. And last season, he got his first taste of action. 7 games played, a couple of tackles, a quarterback hit. Solid, but not spectacular. And that's the problem. Because in a crowded room like this, solid isn't enough. Not anymore. Not when you've got veterans like Isezi Odumewo, Kyle Baugh, and Dean Lowry competing for the same spot. Not when you've got young players like Kevin Jabity Jr. and rookie Gabe Rubio trying to make a name for themselves. The competition is fierce, relentless, unforgiving. And for Logan Lee, that means one thing. He has to be perfect. Training camp, he has to dominate. Preseason, he has to stand out. Every snap, he has to prove that he belongs. Because if he doesn't, there's a very real chance he doesn't make the 53-man roster. In fact, the most likely scenario right now is that he ends up on the practice squad. And part of that has to do with investment. The Steelers just spent a draft pick on Gabe.
And then you've got Wilson, fighting for his place, fighting for relevance, fighting for his future in Pittsburgh. And when you see a player like that putting in extra work during the offseason, that matters. Because route running isn't just about running fast. It's about precision, timing, deception, chemistry with your quarterback. And if Wilson can elevate that part of his game, everything changes. Now, imagine this scenario. You've got Rodgers under center, a veteran quarterback who thrives on timing and trust. If he sees a receiver who can consistently run clean routes, be exactly where he's supposed to be, create separation at the right moment, that receiver earns opportunities. And that's exactly what both Bernard and Wilson are chasing right now. Opportunity. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The Steelers didn't just bring in Michael Pittman Jr. for depth. They didn't pair him with DK Metcalf just for headlines. They're building something.
And it all ties back to moments like the one we saw this offseason. A simple training session, a video clip, a glimpse behind the curtain. But sometimes, those are the moments that tell you everything. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Joey Porter Jr. deserves a contract close to $30 million per year, or even more? Or should the Steelers hold firm and try to keep that number down? And what about Logan Lee? Do you think he can fight his way onto the roster, or is he destined for the practice squad? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I'm reading everything. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. And don't forget, the official Steelers store link is down below if you want to check out the newest gear. Because things are heating up in Pittsburgh, and you're not going to want to miss what happens next.